So it's right around 7:15 p.m. or so on Friday, January 6th. Today is the 12th day of Christmas, although for some reason this year, Christmas feels like it was really short and it did not last 12 days. There's some years where the 12 days of Christmas seem to go all the way into mid-January because everything is very festive and fun and there's a lot going on. But this year things felt a little bit more quiet and short. So it is January 6th, but it doesn't really feel terribly Christmassy anymore. And I'm sitting here getting stuff done. I have a ton of stuff going on these days. I hit the ground running on Tuesday, January 3rd, by racing up to Boston from New Haven to get a lot of legal issues taken care of. And it was kind of like a semi-emergency situation. And this entire week, I've just been hitting the ground running every day and trying to get stuff done administratively, economically, like financially, legally, and also personally and socially. But the reason I'm making this video right now is I spend a lot of time avoiding getting harassed by disgusting and desperate creeps. Most men these days seem to be nothing more than disgusting and desperate creeps. There's a lot of cyber stalking going on. People use the internet or your cell phone's GPS to find out where you are, and they zero in on whatever it is you're doing or where your location is at any particular time, and then they just move in and harass you. This is what happens to me all the time. I think I have seen, a grand total of like 4 really amazing, attractive men in the last 5 years, and that's not a joke. Most men these days are disgusting and hideous and desperate creeps, and I have absolutely no interest in being 500 yards anywhere near them. But this evening, I was having a coffee here in a cafe close to where I'm sitting right now, and one of God's perfect creatures walked into the cafe. He was probably late 30s, early 40s, which for me is perfect. I am 50, and 10-year age difference these days doesn't seem like that much. So if a guy is 40, wow, great. The problem is these guys, when really good-looking, attractive guys approach me, they're not approaching me because they're interested. They are approaching me because they are trolling me. They tend to make a big show out of planting themselves in front of me. They engage in some type of sort of attention-seeking or semi-attracting behavior. Like they'll talk to somebody around me, or they'll make a big show of being like, ha ha ha, oh hey, my name is so-and-so, do you work here, that kind of thing. And they're not talking to me, they're talking to people around me, and they'll just hover and they'll look at me a lot. So in the past, when a really good-looking guy looks at me, you think, oh, he must be interested. But I'm 50, I've kind of gotten the gist of what goes on. And they're not doing it because they're interested in you. They're interested in finding out if you see them so that they control you. Big difference. I'm sure this happens to older women a lot, possibly, for various reasons. And now that I'm an older woman, I am very wise to what's going on. But this guy was amazing, perfect, beyond perfect. And like I said, one of God's, beautiful creatures. But again, I'm pretty sure he was trolling me. And I was just sitting there and taking notes and clinically observing what he was doing and shrugging my shoulders. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? These guys put on a show. It's like they're putting on a bit of a circus performance. They keep looking at you to see that you're noticing, but then they don't do anything. And that's kind of the tip off. Like if somebody was really interested in you, they would actually try to say something to you instead of just dancing a tap dance in front of you and then walking away. So that's a troll. It's too bad, but there's nothing I can do about it. And I have to say, just given my heavy schedule with the disgusting, desperate stalker scum that are constantly coming at me, hot guys of any form are a nice change, even if they're trolling me and they don't actually have any interest. I don't really care about that. I mean, I walk out of my apartment with absolutely no makeup on, sloppy clothing, practically in sweats right now. So I'm certainly not trying to attract anybody or look good for whoever might show up. I'm way past that point. Not interested in attracting anybody at this point. I don't care if it's Tom Brady, whatever. But it is interesting to notice that some of the trolls that come at me are actually really good looking, very intelligent, very well spoken, obviously educated, perfect creatures. And it's too bad that they feel the need to troll me. Obviously there's no interest on their part, and I don't blame them. I mean, I'm 50. I'm not the hot thing I used to be. So why anyone like that would have any interest in me at this point? I mean, I don't think they would. But it is interesting to see them kind of tap dancing around, trying to get my attention to see if I'm noticing, because they have an agenda when it comes to trolling older women who they perceive to be, I don't know, desperate and lonely, which I'm not. And it amuses me. It's like, okay, you're wasting your time, but all right, go for it. I mean, at least you're not a hideous creep, right? It's a nice change from the disgusting, filthy, hideous, perverted creeps that fly at me like every 20 minutes when I'm out and about.